So what's up, everyone? Um, and last stream I had some issues to building omnisharp, and I wanted to show you what the issue was. I finally find out. The problem was that I had some errors regarding what was it called? This attribute internals visible to this one. This attribute here. Right, not in tests. This one. So, and basically there are two cases. If the assembly is signed, which reference another assembly, which it allows the internals to be visible to, it has also to be signed. So the assembly which allows the other assembly to see its internal values. If this is signed, the others assembly has also to be signed. Or if the one is unsigned, the second should be also unsigned. So they both should be similar from the signing perspective. And it seems that the omnisharp DLLs are signed. So we have also to make sure that we sign it here. And actually here we can say for the local build, because I use dotnet CLI tool, I don't use this cake setup here to build it. I wanted just to do it with dotnet CLI, and therefore I have to set this here to true so that we delay the signing, and internally it's then okay if it's not signed at that point. It should be signed later on. So this is some internal .NET behavior that prohibits me to actually build the stuff if it's not signed right at the moment. Or else if I cannot sign it at the moment, I have to set this flag to delay the signing. Okay, this is the third thing actually. Let me just play some music. And I had also to pull out the chats for a moment. So now this should be fine. And when I was trying to build actually omnisharp. I wanted to do this with dotnet BSP, and then I discovered that I have an issue there. If I have two SDKs installed in two different runtimes, like .NET SDK 8 and .NET SDK 9, it doesn't work to locate the SDK 9 for the project. And because on the omnisharp side, I set it to SDK 9, it's not working properly. So I decided to use this opportunity to fix it in .NET BSP. And yeah, here we are. And this is in initialize handler. Initialize handler. That's the one. So, and I was comparing actually how it's done here. That's a good way for me to find out how to do it properly, because in omnisharp it works for both SDKs, right? So, and they use also MSBuildLocator beneath the scenes. So this is actually what I'm trying to do with using the .NET BSP inside omnisharp is actually what they already have. So they have already the implementation for MSBuild, but to be able to decouple it would be just a good practice for me, and also maybe they would accept that in the future, so that we could actually switch the build tools without the need to adapt omnisharp further. But I'm not sure, because omnisharp seems like kind of a abandoned project, and that this is only on they're fixing, not like further bugs. It's just some small improvements, I guess, that they do. There are not too many resources currently there. But yeah, I was looking into LSP logs actually to find out what we see here when we start omnisharp. There are some mechanics in play where we just search for the current SDKs available on the machine. And I saw we print them out. So we see here MSBuild instances. Located 2. It seems that finds 2 SDKs. Right, I have 2 installed. But the reason why I'm wondering is because on my side it finds only 1. So I'm doing actually this thing here. Visual Studio instances. And I do it with these settings. And it actually does not find both of them. only works if I enable this, allow all runtime versions, but this option is documented as you want to load runtimes which could fail or most probably will fail if you try to load them. So I'm not sure if we should use this. Instance query options. Let's find the locator. This is in tests. Let's search in source, also in CS files. We have this create default. But this MSBuildLocator is a custom one. This one is actually, no, this is also not the right one. So can register MSBuild path. Instance MSBuild path. Then we have this MSBuild instance. Get instances. So for providers, we configure here SDK instance provider and SDK override instance providers for .NET Core app, which we actually are using. Include pre-releases. This is the options, SDK options. This is also a custom class. Includes pre-releases. What does it actually mean? Clear Visual Studio instances. Microsoft BuildLocator. I was searching for this one before. Let me see. Oh, okay, I was in LSP logs. That's why I didn't find them. Providers Microsoft BuildLocator instance provider. Build version. Build path. Then we have the version, discovery type. This is the second occurrence of the Microsoft MSBuildLocator. But we query all of them as it seems. No, second. So we don't use this visual instance query options. So it's not used there. So we do actually only this. Let's find out if this works. Just do the default one, default options. .NET clean, .NET build, and .NET publish. Okay. So what we find there is actually only the 80120. Do we insert build path version? We have here else Visual Studio root path name, version name, retype. How could that be that this is finding more? Where or the body? Like, this is really strange. And is locating the MSBuild tools path given a base path. Drag it tools path. Directory. Where actually? Get instances. Where is this one used? Mono instance provider. So only in the mono instance provider. Okay. For each provider means could be also that it's just coming from this override instance provider. Because this one gives us only these instances. So what do we do here? We go in here, create MSBuild instance, options path version. And located MSBuild instances. So this could be actually coming from this one. Try get version for the path. Path exists. Try get SDK version. SDK instance provider. It's okay, this would be fine. It would find actually then. Let's assume this would find the other SDK, which is not returned from the first instance, which is not returned here. We can achieve the same behavior, at least here for our test case, with this property being set to true. So then let's see, standard input output project here. We have the host. I'm trying to find after we load the MS build or like initialize here. The register the MS build tools, register MS build path. Then later on we use composite house build, target environment, all that stuff here. We have the MSBuildLocator again here. Service providers and stuff, and then should be find somewhere how we load the projects. Assemblies. And source and CS files. Test manager. Workspace. Maybe it's better to search for solution. Solution. So solution file parsing. Scanner, solution parsing. I must build workspace info. There we get this from projects. Get workspace model async. Project system. Maybe workspace information service. So we have the project system here from MSBuild. Project system. Okay. MSBuildLocator, and here we get the property overrides. only that, right? Only the property overrides from the MSBuildLocator. What are property overrides? Dotnet MSBuildLocator. What if we search for this? Nothing to find there. Let's search for the MSBuildLocator. Search here. Oh, actually, maybe this property overrides is not the right name there, because this is a custom object. So it could be that it is named differently in MSBuildLocator. Property overrides. SDK configuration. Okay, this is something here from create defaults. I think this is something omnisharp specific where you could override some SDK stuff via config. Okay, yeah. Include pre-releases. SDK. Does .NET 9 count as pre-release? Okay, I don't think so. But that's not an issue for us currently. I think we could skip this for now. So property overrides, this is what we pass there. We have a project loader. Project loader is also a custom class here. Designed. Okay, so solution directory. Create global properties. So there are some configurations which are passed to the project loader or something similar from MSBuild. The project loader, project manager, which gets the loader and the workspace and assembly loader, metadata file reference cache package dependency cacher. Other options here. Build options. What projects on demand? Tool version, studio version, configuration platform. Use legacy SDK resolver, MSBuild extensions, Roslyn target path, MSBuild SDK. So there are things to override actually. When set to true, the MSBuild project system will attempt to resolve the path to the MSBuild SDK's for project by running dotnet info. Project loader. Global properties. Are configured here. Then we do build project. Using SDK path resolver. Build logger. Evaluate project file core. Set target framework if needed. So names target framework. If the project supports multiple target frameworks and specific framework isn't selected, we must pick one before execution. Otherwise, the resolve reference target might not be available to us. For now, we'll just pick the first target framework. Eventually, we'll need to do better and potentially allow omnisharp host to select the target framework. Evaluated project, create project instance. We have here a dictionary, local properties, solution selector. Project configuration in solution. So we have a project collection with local properties, logger, toolset definition, locations, default. This is for project collection, tools version. Default tools version. Get legal tool set version. Then we have project collection load project with tool version. toolset definition location. So let's try again to run BSP. We get the error that the current .NET does not support targeting 9, either target 8 or lower, or use version of dedicated supports. Okay. Let's open up here BSP console. Where does this actually fail? Let's do it again. It's target, bring the current. When we try to build, try first initializing here again. Here we fail earlier. Actually, the loading of solution and stuff works. Then the host could not be parsed. URI. On project files. This worked. We have the error in URI format exception. Build target sources handler. Handle request async. Hostname could not be parsed. Why hostname? Strange. Global properties. Where does this actually fail? The project configuration could be loaded. Restore false. Project collections. Here we initialize one and multiple overloads. So I'm not sure what we have issues there actually. omnisharp driving crazy. Toolset definition locations. Do we have here? Do not read toolset information from an external location. Read toolset information from exit configuration file. Toolset information from registry. Nope. Come go away. Message. No. Use default location or locations. Read toolset from the current path. Use default location or locations. Question is, what is the default if we don't set anything? So what if we just change this part? Workspace build target handler. But this one worked, right? We could list all the projects. Only when we try to compile. This was failing. Project graph. Maybe it's using something else behind the scenes. Microsoft build graph. Where is this actually? Is this located? Project graph. Microsoft build assembly. Tool set definition location default. And we can look up what is set there. If we don't set anything. This should be Microsoft build. DLL Microsoft build. Oh no. There we are. Minus the sources. Here. To set definition location. So where it's used actually. If we search for project collection class, and if we initialize without any parameters, set default configuration file registry local is default, the default value. If we have a constructor like this null, okay. So let's set it there. Default. So this is already set to default, so it doesn't change anything here actually. Target files, project graph. Target framework inference targets. SDK does not support, but it seems that we built with .NET SDK 8. Let's see, we have here instance build, restore, build. Do we have provide here something? Okay, or could we provide here something? Project instance. JS project instance. Is the project instance here? Go away. So maybe I have to reconfigure this new message UI. Project instance, project farm. We have else project instance tool version. creates a project instance directly. So intermediate project object is created. This is ideal for project is simply going to be built and not displayed or edited. Okay, and tool version. So wait, what do we have here? If we load the projects, let's go to the compile handler. Can we load the projects via graph here? Project graph. Let's search for this one. Can we set here maybe also tool version or something? And what's the default? Project path to the project file to parse. The global properties to be used for creating the project instance. Project collection. I think actually this should load what's registered by MSBuildLocator, right? That's what I would assume, at least. The default version of this delegate used by Project Graph simply calls the project instance constructor with information from the parameters. This delegate is provided as a hook to allow scenarios like creating a project instance before converting it to a project instance for use by the project graph. The returned project instance will be stored and provided with project graph. If this callback chooses to generate an immutable project instance again by using create project instance with the flag, nodes might not be buildable. To avoid corruption of the graph, subsequent builds based on the graph. All callback parameters must be utilized for creating the project instance without any mutations. The project instance should not be mutated in any way. Its state should be full fidelity representation of the project file. Project collections. So it's a project instance factory. A delegate used to for constructing a project instance called for each project created during graph creation. This value can be null, which uses the default implementation and calls project instance constructor. See the remarks. Project entry project files dictionary. Target lists. Current tool version. So MSBuild constants. Static project instance factory. Static project instance factory. With current tool version. Where does this come from? Current tool version current. Okay, and where is this used? So we have a project instance class here. So no tool version. Sub tool version, tool set. Tool set. Project toolset collection. Make project. Let's remove this. Get toolset. Project tool version. Tools version. So let's look at this if we have it somewhere here. And if we could print this out. We are here at compile. And let's see what the project collection has. Project collection. Tools version. It's fine like this, right? Projects. Toolset location, toolsets. Contains toolset default tools version. Let's print this first. The default tools version of this project collection. Projects use this tool version if they aren't otherwise told what tools version to use. This value is gotten from the xconfig file or else in the registry, or if needed specify default tool version, then it's hard coded to be tools version. If this even has something to do with the runtime. What is the tool version here anyways? Let's find out. What do we have else there that we want to maybe print? Project clone properties is built enabled. Loggers. Let's see what we got there. So, are we ready? No. Event expression. Okay. Back. Rebuild. Okay. Then again. Try to build solution. Doesn't work. BSP console. BSP. Did I reset it? Initialize handler. What initialize handler? Now it does not find even the version 9 here. But is this the case? Okay, they are installed. Invalid URI, the host name could not be parsed. Let's copy this. Actually, don't add. Replace them through a new line. This. Build target source handler. Handle request. Build target sources handler. Line 37. Here. Evaluate, include. So there is something. in there which we cannot build or cannot create a URI of. It's a different issue. It's blocking us. We have to resolve it somehow. Actually strange that. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I get it. We have here instance query options, which I previously removed, right? This one is also not possible. Okay, discovery type. Let's see what this means for now. Let's rebuild it again. Multiple instances found. Okay, whatever that means. Why? Why are they different? This free? There must be something else different to them. Cannot load file or assembly. Same error as before, but this one says where we have the actual issue is my workspace build target handler. Get build target in workspace. Get this one. So if we search for this, let's close this one. Also, so here we actually get the error. Directory solution file parse, get projects. Solution file. This method takes a path to a solution file, parses the projects and project dependencies in the solution file, and creates internal data structure representing the projects within the solution. Default configuration name gets the default configuration name of the solution. If this is this somehow different, that it does not respect what we register with MSBuild. Construction. The solution file. Actually, we could search here for the class directly. Construction solution file. Are there more of them? No, okay, this is the only one. Is this the same? It's not the same. Seems that this is the Microsoft Build Construction Solution file. This one is a Build Construction Solution file. That's right. Oh no, this is actually, I think, the namespace to get here, so it should be this. No, right? Because we have here the solution file CS, so this should be the path, not the namespace. This class contains the functionality to parse the solution file and return a corresponding MSBuild project file containing the project independence defined in the solution. If we say parse new, using new parser. Parse solution accents solution files using solution persistence. What's an SLNF? Solution filters. Solution filters files are JSON files with an extension solution F that indicate which projects to build or load from all the projects in a solution. Starting with MSBuild 16.7, you can invoke MSBuild on the solution filter file to build a solution with filtering enabled. Wow, okay, didn't knew that. Didn't knew that this is possible, but yeah. So it fails somehow here on the parse, but in an older version. The version that we have here doesn't have this fancy new parse stuff. Or if this is this. Ah, this is internal, okay. Serializer. Project in solution. Scruff, hi. You're a little bit late to the party. I'm gonna finish the stream soon. But anyways, welcome. So I'm working on C# again, or on .NET BSP. One of the projects I started streaming with. I'm just checking in our Arbeit through Windows. Interesting. Yeah. Windows. Apropos Windows, we have on Windows out of support September 13 or something, right? October. Windows 10. How dare you run Windows 11? You want to say you don't have any problems now? Yeah, Windows 11 is great, right? Best ever. Read the old friends graph. That's part of the ritual when you come in Scruff. Yeah, I'm not sure. I was thinking you about Windows 10, so I cannot remember everything, Scruff. The last Windows I tried was 10. But the new Windows 11 is actually signed. So when it is loaded, it is checked against checksum. And if you would modify Windows, the main image, which is loaded, then it would fail to boot actually. So you cannot cheat anymore that easily on Windows 11. Yeah, I saw a video about how the cheaters work these days. It was pretty interesting because they used different methods for cheating. One of them, which was pretty heavy one, and it's really surprised me. They decompiled the whole Windows and recompiled it again with some parts changed so that they could run cheats without Windows detecting it. And it works actually only on Windows 10 and earlier, because Windows 11 is signed. You cannot kind of decompile and recompile it again. It would break the signing, and it would not load on the initial boot. So I'm not sure if you cheat. I'm just mentioning it, that it's, if you ever would like to cheat with Windows 11, it would not work. Just letting you know. That's all what I wanted to say. Where does this actually try to load the runtime 9? Version? Maybe the version changed or something? Or we could just try here. To serialize the whole instance. JSON convert, right? Oops, that's the wrong one. Serialize. Serialize that. That's the thing I was looking for. Okay, this should do it for now. Yeah, sorry, Scruff, I was distracted by actual work. Yes. Yep. It is for free, but it is still work. Work does not mean that you get paid for it, right? Work only means that you have to do hard. So let's see what we have here. Same stuff. Oh, I didn't actually rebuild this. .NET clean publish. Close this again. Wait till it's through. And okay, we have still the issue. Oops. Okay, then now we get .NET, MSBuild path, discovery type 4. Discovery type 4. Actually do the same stuff here for all things. Actually move it back and say we do here found, right? And we do here instance. So we print every instance there. Also, I want to look into what we get here. Discovery types. Developer console, Visual Studio setup with .NET SDK. So the 4 before was .NET SDK. Let's see what we get there. You're such a Redditor. What is a Redditor? And you didn't even override the timeout. Here you are, the great programmer working on some software, and yet you can't click free time to undo Nightbot's nonsense. Yeah, but you could actually try to summarize what you're trying to write. And then Nightbot would not block you, right? Greatest fear. Yeah, that's true. You're kind of my biggest viewer. Yeah, true. That's true. But did you saw that I actually have now the chat history in the stream? You get now famous. Streamers have made me moderated to less, and yet you have not even done the basic culture of overriding the timeout. That has been placed on my other account for unjust reasons. Chat history. Yeah, you don't see? Or you don't really look at my video, you're just writing. You have only chat open and you just write stuff. Yes, that's the thing about my head. Yeah, that's the chat. It's not tuned perfectly, but kind of ghost text. Yeah. You should handle the load, right? All the text. Are you overloaded with all the stuff? I don't even know how to remove the timeout. I didn't done too much with this, to be honest. Yeah, but because you write so much, I don't have your name actually here. Because he removed you, he removed also the chat history. You would be a good moderator. I'm not sure about this, to be honest. There is no Mensch icon in the right corner. Top right corner next to the stream chat. I have the stream chat popped out. So whatever you're talking about, it looks different on my side. Just below, go add free for free. Wow, Linux is great, so consistent. Mensch icon, top right corner. You speed 10 minutes timeout literally expired and you're still lost. Linux layer 10 out of 10. Welcome back, Scruff. You're writing with yourself now. Okay. Scruff, now Vorsicht. Talking bad about Linux is not good at that channel. Yeah, I just only imagining you doing that in real life too, like talking with multiple personalities. So let's see, what did we find here? Alden 9. Things. What's different between them? So version is the same, Visual Studio path is the same. Name is the same, build path is the same. Recovery type is the same, so they are same objects. That's strange. But okay, that doesn't change too much. Get build targets in workspace. This is where it fails. Don't really understand why it's trying to load the runtime here. Is it because of the build target? Good question. I talk to people like everyone else. Don't you talk to people? I do. Who doesn't? Maybe you have 2 great viewers now. Even real conversation going on in your stream. Now you are getting mean. Really hurting my feelings now. But Nybot is mean for a reason. And he is a bot. He doesn't have feelings. Oh, this could be maybe handle this later. But Yes, it should fail here on build target. Isn't it? Because I don't see the log information search solution files in here. Right. Create runtime versions. Where Linux user, you time me out of Linux now. How about you turn down the settings on Nightbot? I mean, a bit of caps lock isn't dangerous at all. That's true, yeah. That's actually true. Oh, come on, this is really annoying now. Do this command or something. Does this timeout message is visible in the message window? Let's do this to 1 or something. We'll restart. And then initialize handler. Initialize. Build initialize handler. This one. And I was looking into the build locator. Register instance. Allow query all .NET locations. I register the instance. Does if this change anything? Yeah, don't actually think so. What is KGB? KGB. Where do you see Microsoft? It's Linux. Yeah, actually I'm a big fanboy of Microsoft. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You got me. So I don't really understand how this MSBuildLocator should work actually. We should have examples here, samples, right? Lab, program, query, ask which MSBuild to use. Okay, blah blah blah. We select instance choice. Okay, we return here MSBuild deployment to use. Calling register method will subscribe to assembly resolve event. After this, we can safely call code that use MSBuild types in the builder class. This instance is not null. So wait, what do we return? Instance. It's not null, we register it, okay. So depending on the dev console is probably always the right choice because the user explicitly opened it when associated with Visual Studio installed will always be first in the list. Okay. So we register the instance and then you build a build project file path. Calling this method will subscribe to assembly resolve event. After this, we can safely call method code that use MSBuild types in the builder class. Builder, build, project file path. So we do type of project assembly. Then we look at the version. I can do the same just to debug it. Root project and open project file. project root element. Then we have new project build with logger, like that. Let's do this here. Initialize manager. Build locator. Build target. Workspace build target handler. Get build target in workspace. And we could add this here, I guess. Here it seemed to work. So context logger. Introduce this system diagnostic stuff. Assembly. Let's say JSON serializer, right? Serialize this, oops. And let's say that's our version of MSBuild LL or something. That's the wrong one. Not the Newtonsoft. System registration, serialize, like this. Okay, then we rebuild again. Well, guess what? I made a clip. Let's see if Nightbot will time me out if I post a link. So yeah, you created a clip. JSON convert. Where are we? Oh, okay. Okay, then let's use something else here. Serialize object. That's it. Okay, then we do this instead. That this is happy. Okay, now So now it happens. Handle request. So always there where I try to load anything MSBuild related, Microsoft Build related. 15.1. Version 15 seems pretty old. But why is this like that? Is it something to do? Here, how we run the program. Implicit usings. Okay, I have another theory. Let me just check something else here. Let's do actually here after initialize, manage and initialized. Do our context logger MS build loader and locator. I mean locator. Locator. And let's actually right here is registered. Register instance. Current instance or something. Can register. How can I get what's actually registered. Maybe it's not possible, but at least we know if it's registered here. So we will try to rebuild and see to get there. It's registered at least. Ooh. So dotnet CLI sets up these environment variables when MSBuild is invoked via dotnet, but we are using MSBuildTLS directly and therefore we need to mimic that. Okay. Register MSBuild paths internally. Was called, but MSBuild assembly already loaded. Assembly resolve event can fire multiple times for the same assembly to keep track of what's already been loaded. Here we are registered handler. Try load assembly. Assembly load context. Assembly resolution is not thread safe. Loaded assemblies, try get value. Look in the MSBuild folder for any unresolved reference. It may be dependency of MSBuild or a task. This is no effect and exists only for backward compatibility calling. It is unnecessary. assembly loader context. So, okay. I think it's enough for today. Still don't understand how this should work and why it's not working. But we will find out in the future. So, thanks for joining, and